Ahead of a big summit today, the Global Investment Summit, to which the Prime Minister will address. He writes an article for one of the newspapers this morning, The Sun. The boiler police are not going to kick your door in with their sandal-clad feet and seize at carrot point your trusty old combi. He's referring to an initiative whereby they want to do away with the old gas boilers, no new boilers after 2035, and grants of up to £5,000 towards installing heat pumps that run on electricity. Gas bills, though, could rise with green taxes of up to £159 moved from electric bills. Let's get details of what we'll hear from the Prime Minister later, from Conservative MP and International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan, who joins me now. Spell out some of the facts and the figures that we'll hear later today from the Prime Minister. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nick.
What are we hearing from the Prime Minister later?
So, really exciting event that we're hosting today at the Science Museum, our Global Investment Summit. 200 of the world's greatest wealth creators have joined us here to talk about investing in the UK and particularly in the green technologies of the future, because we are determined, the Prime Minister is absolutely determined to lead the way and help the world find the solutions, because as the Duke of Cambridge said in his Earthshot Prize on Sunday, this is a decisive decade for shifting the dial and making sure that we move to net zero as nations around our planet. And the UK is determined to lead the way. So we are gathering together some of the most innovative and forward-thinking businesses and investors who want to make sure that they are part of the UK's green industrial revolution.
New jobs to be created, Secretary of State. Where and what sectors will these jobs be?
So we have seen today announcements of beyond nearly £10 billion of investments, which will create 30,000 new jobs. These are across a number of sectors, in the offshore wind sector, in some of the waste management sectors, all sorts of investments in businesses that are going to help drive the green industrial revolution and be part of the innovation solutions, some of which I have no doubt we haven't even invented yet, Nick. I think that's what's really exciting about this, is we're seeing here investors who are shifting how they invest their money into solutions that are green, that make sure that everything is aligned towards meeting the great challenge that our planet is demanding of us, to clean up our oceans, to decarbonise, to have a much more sustainable way of life with the natural world that we absolutely depend on.
Coming back to domestic matters, I understand that there will be grants of £5,000 towards installing heat pumps. Why do we feel that's necessary, Secretary of State?
So as part of your and my commitment to the UK's net zero journey, we will have to change the way our homes are heated. So as I'm sure, I don't know when you last had it, but every 10 or 15 years, when your boiler needs replacing, you will have had a natural gas boiler put in by British Gas or whoever was your installer. So going forwards, we are going to be asking people to make the change, and technology will develop and help us do that. So this fund, this first commitment of £450 million, is to help those who in the next 3 years will be looking to make that change. But we've already invested billions of pounds through our local housing authority schemes to help those who are living in social housing, which have poor insulation, and indeed those who are least able to cope with high bills, to make sure that their bills come down. Because one of the key challenges with our domestic commitment to a net zero is that the less energy you use, obviously, the better, not only because that reduces your domestic costs, but because you are then using less energy. So this is all part of the heating building strategy to help us as citizens be part of the solution.
But it's much more expensive, lastly, isn't it, having one of these heat pumps rather than a traditional boiler?
So at the moment, those heat pumps are more expensive, but like everything which then is produced in volumes, the greater volumes, the lower the costs, and that is going to be part of the solution. We'll see those costs come down. And indeed, and I was talking to some businesses who are at the investment summit here today, there may well be solutions that haven't been invented yet. So as you and I make those decisions, as we upgrade our homes over the next 15 years, we may find that the heat pump that we see today becomes something much more efficient and indeed cheaper in the years ahead.
Lastly, hoping that some good can come out of the wicked, you'll have heard yesterday some of your colleagues talk about David's Law in honour of the late Sir David Amos to crack down on online trolls. Two questions, Secretary of State. Would you support such a law, and have you ever been a victim of this vile sort of traffic?
So I think we're all still numb from David's brutal killing last Friday, and some of the tributes in the House of Commons yesterday were so touching, and the laughter that we heard, for me, summed up why he was such a wonderful and important part of our parliamentary family, and we're all at a loss of how we'll cope without him. We were all so thrilled when the Prime Minister said that Southend would become a city because, David championed these things. I think the challenge of the online trolling, I've had a certain amount. I've had to have someone arrested who was threatening to burn down my house when my children were in it. These things are ghastly and entirely wrong, and our police force is working incredibly hard to support us as parliamentarians and to protect our families. But I think we are going to keep looking at that, and I know the Home Secretary's work is ongoing to think about how we might best and proportionately find the right solutions to ensure that both we as parliamentarians, but our families and our staff who support and work around us every day also feel safe.
Conservative MP and International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan, thank you for your time. Good luck at that summit. Staying with the summit, let's talk with someone who's going to be there. Wayne Preece is CEO of Hydro Industries Limited. And let's let Mr. Preece explain. What does Hydro Industries Limited do? Mr. Preece, good morning.
Good morning, Nick, and we're a great fan of your show, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
We're delighted to be here. We basically clean water. So whether it's